Yo, what's up, Feezy-built fam? Welcome back to the channel. So, I haven't uploaded in about 7 days. Sorry, guys. Been doing my own personal stuff, just taking care of my life. After we got the sedan done, I just drove that thing for a little bit. Ended up cracking around the wastegate, one of the welds, so been fixing that and just taking a break and enjoying life. But feels good to have the camera back in my hand. I'm recording, so I'm gonna pick back up with you guys. This bad girl. I just shot the intro and realized that my phone's memory was full, and I did like the whole thing without picking up on it. So everything's already opened, and so I'm just going to give you guys a quick explanation of what we're going to do before we get started today. And oh yeah, real quick, if you're not subscribed, hit the subscribe right now, because I've noticed about 90% of you guys that actually view these videos are not subscribed, which I just believe is ludicrous, because if you clearly like them and you enjoy it, and make sure to give it a thumbs up, because it helps this video tremendously, and I made this for you for free. So okay, pick it back up. So we're doing the rear end on the hatch today. We got parts that we needed to actually finalize a lot of stuff on the car. So now it's time to make headway, start getting the rear end done, and get the motor back in the car. Everything is about to happen right now. So like I said, make sure hit the notification bell, because it's about to pop off. So today we're going to be rebuilding the rear trailing arms and redoing the rear end, doing the underlayment, doing all that stuff, and just, or the undercoating, and you know, getting it beautiful and ready to race. So the first thing that we would touch clearly is we're going to be doing our new rotors. So these rotors are only a slotted rotor. I know it looks drilled, but that's not drilled all the way through. It's slotted. I don't really care for the drilled and slotted. And these were cheap. They were 54 bucks. They work perfect. They came with pads. I hardly use the rear brakes except for staging, so not super worried. These little cheap looking guys are actually super awesome. Now, you're probably wondering what these are, because none of us really see them. Maybe you know what they are, but this is not an adjustable camber kit. This is adjustable toe kit, which a lot of us, you know, I know a lot of us haven't seen. So these are Heim's joints, spherical joints, however you want to call it, just like everything else that I've been doing on the car. The difference, if any of you guys are wondering what the difference between a Heim's joint and a rubber joint or a polyurethane joint, see how this housing can stay still, but this bushing can still move, right? It can oscillate. Now that happens in the suspension. So if this was a rubber bushing that's solid mounted to this outside, this whole thing would want to contorse or move until the rubber or the polyurethane gave way and ripped out. Really cool, cheap. These are like 30 bucks. I'll be putting the links down to everything that I did get. Moving on. So we have our upper camber kit, or upper control arm, however you want to call it. Pretty basic adjustable camber kit. It goes from -3 to +4 or whatever. You know, it's got a couple good variances there. The main reason that I like getting this style, you know, they're cheap, they work, I'm not going to spend $200. And see how this has got a cap with that snap ring on it, right? So that's the side that's mounted to the chassis, and that keeps this from oscillating so much and just moving back and forth. You'll see what I'm talking about in the end. These are nice. Those were also only like $30 or $40. Now moving on to probably the only expensive thing that we're actually having to do in the rear end. These are the Block's spherical rear trailing arm bushings. Now, if you guys have ever looked at your trailing arms in the rear end, I'll be showing you guys in detail what these are, where they go, and how they work. But for those of you that know, this is a game changer, right? No more rubber poly, and I'm pretty sure on certain chassis they just bolt in. So we're about to find out today. I don't honestly know. I didn't even look at the video or anything, but it seems pretty self-explanatory. So we'll see. We'll give it a run. Now, for this next part, I'm super excited about it. This is what makes all this stuff actually work, happen, and the power to be able to put down to the ground. So as those of you that know and you watch, we've been waiting on our clutch. We've been waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting, and Action has been going through it, but they have outdone themselves and done a huge order and taking care of all their racers like they always do. So yeah. Now I know it's not the official box. Don't be thinking that I got juked. Through all this COVID stuff, they started using some of their old packaging and what they had available to make sure that they didn't have to wait another week to get printed boxes to send us out our packages. So this box doesn't matter. I've opened everything inside of it already. I had to. So don't think that it came opened. Don't be ragging on Action. If anything, go follow Matt at Action Clutch on Instagram, and tell him thank you from the Feezy fam if you want to. It would help me out majorly, and I'm sure he'd be stoked on it too. So, man. So this decal, we all know about decals in the Honda world, and I wanted this for so long. So long, it's hard to explain. But what's in this box, I've wanted for much longer. Now, I know it's got dirty, oily fingerprints. I've been touching it. I've been moving it. It was so clean when I got it, guys. And look at the reflection off of that. Just a beautiful product. I mean, man. And so you got your throwout bearing, your alignment tool. It comes pre-assembled. You have to take it apart. It has instructions, all that stuff on how to reassemble it. Very basic, guys. Nothing super out of the ordinary. Making sure to apply red Loctite on the flywheel bolts, not too much because you will be, pulling it off to service it and things, but we'll be going over that in due time. One of the last parts for Becky's motor came in, and that's in this box. And I think I talked about it in the last video with the sedan, and I think I'm going to get one for it too. It's actually pretty good quality. Like I said, I'll be dropping a link on all this stuff, so come on, box, work with it. So this is our, I'm not going to open the packaging because I don't want to get it dirty inside. This is our baffled and tapped B-Series pan, right? So it's zinc plated with the silver zinc that I like. It's got a 10AN bung here and one there for some reason. God knows why. I have no idea what that's about. They're welded from the inside. It's a nice flush mount. That's perfect for my return. It is 10AN. And like I said, it's baffled. It's steel. And it's brand new. So you don't have to worry about any debris or anything in there. Brand new pan. Don't have to worry about nothing. So I'm going to go ahead and put all this stuff back up. I'm going to open the garage door up because it's kind of sunny outside. My neighbor, oh yeah, another reason I didn't get to record yesterday. It's really exciting. My neighbor has got his lifts going on in his garage finally, and we've been putting those up, which is just a super cool deal. I didn't really record it because I didn't want the camera to be in the way or bugging anybody, and we're learning, and it's a cool process. So after I get some of this done, I'm going to head back over there and help with a 4-post today. So I'm going to open up the door, like I said, throw you all on time lapse. We're going to pull these trailing arms off one at a time, put them up on the table, and we'll start to service them. We're probably going to tear everything apart, get it cleaned up and ready for paint in this video, and then the next video is going to be everything going back on. But stay tuned.
I'm just good at caring too much. I'm just good at caring too much.
Alright guys, so got those rear control arms pulled off, or the rear trailing arms, my bad, and the control arms, literally everything, as you've seen in the little time lapse. But we've been scrubbing out these wheel wells, and I ain't gonna lie, I'm kind of over it at this point in time, but it's still sunny out. Got my friends with me, so we're gonna go over to my dad's and knock those trailing arms apart, get them painted, get them ready, actually get them assembled, and then I'll come back here later on tonight and finish doing this part. But for now, everything's pulled apart, cleaned up for the most part. I mean, it's far from perfect, but getting there. Cruise over to the other side. Yeah, I mean, it's a lot better than it was before. Definitely not ready for paint though. So all I've been doing is using a wire wheel, or a wire brush. I should be using a wire wheel, but I've been using a wire brush, scrubbing it, spraying it with some cleaner and some water, rubbing it down with a rag, And then as I come back later on, I think I'm just going to use a wire wheel on a drill and just really get everything beat up as best I can to get the best adhesion. But like I said, we're going to cruise over, take those trailing arms over to my dad's, bust those apart, and I'll show you guys what some of these parts are actually for after we get that done. Alright guys, so back over here at my pop's place, nice in the shade, feels good. Got the trailing arms ripped off clearly. That was the last thing we did in the shop. I've gotten this one fully torn down, so the wheel bearings in these were recently done, although we did reuse the old hubs, but it is what it is. They'll get painted, they'll get cleaned up, and they're going to have a rotor over them. But the next mission here is to get these completely pressure washed front, side, and back, prepped and ready for enamel paint. So I'll go through the process a little bit. This one is not fully torn apart, clearly, and I didn't record it because, you know, I've done this before. There's a video, you can go and watch it, where I get pretty in depth on it. So all you do here is come in, remove your caliper bolts. You got one there, one there. That will release the caliper, and the rotor will fall off after the caliper comes off. You'd have 2 set screws you have to remove. Those are P3s. I suggest using an impact, like a DeWalt impact. Works the best without stripping them. After that, you come over, remove your e-brake cable, remove the tow bar here, and the trailing arm bushing. So like I was saying before at the shop, I'd go over it a little bit more. These are stock trailing arm bushing. See how it literally fell apart? I mean, they're no good, and they take the tension. Like, see how that middle part is open around the outsides here? Right there and right there, you see the light through it. That's supposed to be able to absorb and move back and forth, like absorb the energy. It's not what happens. They end up tearing apart, and that's why the sphericals, like we're saying, you know, the unit being able to stay solid and the bushing being able to move independently makes a huge difference. So I'm gonna quit rambling. I'm gonna bust this other side down, get these things all, you know, ready for paint, cleaned up, all that jazz, and I'll pick back up with you guys once they're painted and ready to go back. And that'll pretty much be it for this. All right, so got those things all cleaned, painted up. Nothing crazy here. Same, if you guys ever seen the video, as the ones I did for the stand. Same deal, just painted with an enamel black. It's like a semi-gloss, it's not a high gloss. Has a really good appeal, and it's really strong. It's a lot like this stock enamel or powder coating that they use on it, whatever it is that they use. And it puts up a hell of a fight. So, stoked on that, but man, I got a little ahead of myself, I think. I thought I was going to be able to get way more done than I actually did. But I think I'm going to call it a day for this and wrap up this video. Sorry guys, but I swear the next video I'm going to be doing all the rest of the stuff, getting it installed. I still have to get the wheel wells completely prepped and the back of the chassis taped off once again. So yeah, pray for me. But once that's all done, then we can get that all assembled. I don't even think I'm going to record that. I'll probably record painting the wheel wells, and that's about it. But I'm going to show you guys the cracker on the wastegate on the sedan and why I haven't had any more content on that. So let me turn up the brightness on this guy. Alright, you guys see that little hairline cracker on there? And it's around that side. Kind of hard to tell, but you can see the black on the bottom. And it's already been repaired once, so I'm going to have to pull it back off. I'm going to grind that weld completely down, try to put a nice bevel in it, and re-TIG weld it. Now, the last time I had it done, it was MIG welded, and I thought it would be good. It was good for a while, but apparently it didn't last very long daily driving. So until I can afford a new one, I'm just going to repair that one over and over again. I am going to try to brace it and make that not happen, because this is the second time it's happened, and I'm starting to be under the impression that the metal's just really thin there. So hopefully we can get that under wraps. Like I said, thank you for watching the video. I'm gonna wrap this up and I'll pick back up with you guys on the next one.